According to the World Wide Web, Generation Z includes anyone born between 1997 and 2012. It's hard to say what that means, so what better way to explain it than with cinema? However, because I was born in 2005, 1997 to 2004 are relevant because I can't explain them with cinema. Give me 1 second. Stranger Things, please stop invading homes! By the way, Stranger Things reminded me of how many films and shows were released between 2005 and now. Therefore, I will put my genuine but rapid-fire comments into 4 different categories. 2 sets of nostalgic and popular productions, with 1 set being for the ones I didn't watch and the other for the ones that I did. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, A Year Without a Santa Claus, Frosty the Snowman, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. However, most Rankin-Bass movies haven't aged well thematically, and are more of a legal obligation at Christmas time. We have Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, and Jurassic Park. All great franchises that I never grew up on and haven't had the same success as they had initially. There's also Avatar: The Last Airbender, and make sure you don't get this confused with Avatar, as one is infinitely more impressive than the other. Is better animated. Has bending. Cartoon Network also delivered strong nostalgia with shows like Ben 10, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and Mystery Incorporated. All those shows will likely make it onto my backlog. But did you also know that Boomerang exists? We have Shrek, Despicable Me, and Frozen, which all have unique quirks and gimmicks that make people love or hate them. And then there's Ice Age and Happy Feet for the people that want to be different. I actually like Dawn of the Dinosaurs, but none of these productions are what I remember fondly from my childhood. I'm a Disney kid, which is strange because I have a love-hate relationship with the company nowadays. However, it's because of my upbringing. Little Einsteins in particular captivated me at an early age. The balance between the show's lightheartedness and musicality kept me tuned in. I remember that Presto is the fastest tempo and the Flight of the Bumblebees because of Little Einsteins. Combine that with Pixar's output at the time, and I say I was living nicely as a toddler. Cars and Finding Nemo have a soft spot in my heart because I watched them countless times, especially Cars. Nowadays, I can reminisce of a more pleasant time while watching them. It applies to the Polar Express and the Iron Giant, which I recited every week. It also applies to How to Train Your Dragon, Phineas and Ferb, Curious George, The Backyardigans, Elmo's World, and Wonder Pets, which all served as bridges between my birth and my later years in childhood. Moving on to my childhood, few stayed with me. However, 4 franchises did: Star Wars, Tron, James Bond, and Doctor Who. My father grew up with Star Wars' original trilogy. His enthusiasm for the franchise, much like his dormant enthusiasm for motorsports, also applied to my life. Lightsabers are the perfect weapons because of how cool yet sophisticated they are, and the toy version of the blades was a tool for escaping the real world. My father also enjoyed Tron for reasons unbeknownst to me. Tron Legacy showcases a dystopia filled with fascinating architecture and technology, with Tron Uprising as an extension of the world shown in Legacy. Doctor Who and James Bond follow a similar story. My mother was born and raised in England and therefore grew up on the franchises. Now being well accustomed to the franchises, I've acquired my favorite versions, but I can always return to them and remember a simpler time. Okay, so fists might be thrown at me if I say that Avatar isn't a good movie. The Lord of the Rings and The Hunger Games are high on people's list, but The Hunger Games is a so-so book adaptation, but it is better than the Maze Runner movies. So it's got that going for it. I also haven't watched Lord of the Rings. Men in Black still has a good storyline, Top Gun has outlandish aerial stunts, and The Mandalorian is a Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni Star Wars sandwich. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Death Note, and One Piece are worth mentioning because anime is secretly a popularity contest. Cartoon Network and Adult Swim tend to fall into the same category. Shows like Rick and Morty, Samurai Jack, and Regular Show help younger audiences become adults. There are also the other shows that Warner Brothers doesn't want me to mention, like Mao Mao, Infinity Train, OKKO, Over the Garden Wall, and Summer Camp Island. Finally, all those Disney fans out there have a never-ending supply of Marvel content and animated productions, like Gravity Falls, Turning Red, and even Zootopia. What about us? Not now! Oh, I need to reclaim people's trust after that segment. The Marvel Cinematic Universe's Endgame saga was great. Not enough? Pirates of the Caribbean is fun, particularly with Johnny Depp's amazing performance. I'm going to cut to the chase here. I'm cultured and have good taste, so when I say that Rise of the Guardians is a fabulous movie, you know it's true. Wait, it's an adaptation of a book series. I love How to Train Your Dragon 2 and Toy Story 4. which are sequels. We have The Dragon Prince and The Owl House, 2 shows with sublime character development and canonically ongoing romantic relationships. No, they haven't affected my standards for romance. Some of my more random favorites include Big Hero 6 for its characters, The Martian for its science, Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle for its comedy, Bohemian Rhapsody for the story of Queen, and Ford vs. Ferrari for correctly portraying the world of motorsports. Cars 3 and The Batman are 2 imperfect films I love for their intellectually realistic takes on their source material. Rogue One and Andor are 2 obscure moments in Star Wars that are peak cinematic experiences, like the Vader hallway scene in Rogue One, or the last 20 minutes of Andor's 3rd episode. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a film with amazing animation and everlasting lessons for loss and responsibility. Because Spider-Man. Arcane, however, is the magnum opus. The animation, the characters, the plot, the world building, and the music all break barriers on a level people haven't seen before. Cinema has impacted Generation Z to an unavoidable degree. To me, cinema is an experience. It catches our attention and acts as an escape from our daily lives. Every production mentioned influenced at least one person in Generation Z, and influenced their future taste in cinema and possibly their personalities. No matter what we're nostalgic for or what Gen Z's favorite productions are, they will always provide a once-in-a-lifetime experience for everyone. I thought I told you to go away!